Welcome back to Book Break and happy Pride! To celebrate Pride this month, I wanted to recommend a bunch of incredible LGBTQIA+ booktubers. This list I'm about to give you includes some of my personal favourites, some of your favourites. We actually put a message out on Instagram asking for you to recommend your favourite queer booktubers. So I've got a really great list here, loads of people for you to subscribe to. First up, Leanne from Literary Diversions. Leanne is Scottish, she is hilarious, she is wonderfully sassy, she is totally unafraid to tell you her real opinion on books, which I love. Leanne reads a lot of crime and thrillers, which is where I first started following her, and she also talks a lot about mental health, so she does really interesting videos. She's also a small business owner. I will link below to her shop on Etsy. She's a very, very talented illustrator, so all around fantastic creator, and I particularly love the videos where her lovely spouse Harry features. Then there's Tasman from Tea Books and Tasman. Tasman hasn't posted in a few months because they have been off touring in a play with James McAvoy. So if you put enough pressure on them, then maybe they will come back to making videos about fantasy and queer books and Philip Pullman, a strong love for Philip Pullman. Tasman is super high energy, so their videos will definitely wake you up. And sometimes they feature me in them. Then there's Jerry from Onyx Pages. Onyx Pages is a really interesting channel because it is the first ever booktube channel to focus exclusively on Black speculative fiction. So this is the original channel to go to for Black SFF recommendations. So that already showcases how innovative Jerry is. But on top of that, Jerry is also the creator of the Octavia Butler Slow Read, which has had thousands of people rereading Octavia Butler's back catalogue in basically chronological order since 2020. And Jerry is also the creator of the 7 cowrie shell rating system, which is specifically focused on encouraging anti-oppression based book reviews. So like I said, an amazing, innovative booktuber. Cece from Problems of a Book Nerd was actually one of the first ever booktubers that I came across. I've been following her for a while, and her channel is an amazing place to go for queer book recommendations. She's really passionate about reading LGBT literature, and she's also great over on Instagram where she posts a lot each week about the new LGBT book releases. So definitely give her a follow to stay really up to date with what's going on in the world of LGBT book publishing. George Lester used to work here at Macmillan, and he actually recently came back and starred in a Book Break video, so I'll link to that below. We had a lot of fun talking about books about men who love men. And as well as being a booktuber, George is an author. His book Boy Queen is about a boy getting involved in the world of drag, and George Lester is a drag queen himself, and also a delightful human on top of all of that. And George is another booktuber who talks a lot specifically about queer books, so a great place to go for recommendations. Simon Savage has a great channel for literary fiction recommendations, for books that are nominated for prizes, books that are getting a lot of buzz in the publishing world. Simon is always in the know. He is one of the best connected people in publishing. I always love getting Simon's recommendations, and I also particularly love when he does sometimes do videos with his mum, because they are a great pair. Emma Tobias is one of my closest friends actually, who I met initially through BookTube. So Emma likes happy books, she likes romance, she likes Nora Roberts and Alice Hoffman. Emma also has amazing fashion sense, incidentally. And again, you will sometimes find me in some of her videos, so I think that's a plus. Emma is a very, very funny human, so I laugh my way through all of her videos. Then there's Joel from Fictional Fates, and nearly 100,000 people have subscribed to Joel, so he is very beloved on BookTuber. He loves dark academia, speculative fiction, and fantasy, but he also reads a really big range, which is great. So some of his most popular videos recently have been things like ranking Sally Rooney's books, or reading every book that Isaac reads in the TV show Heartstopper. You'll always get something new and exciting with Joel. Alex from Pucks and Paperbacks is a trans booktuber who recommends contemporary LGBTQIA+ book recommendations, YA, middle grade, and adult. And he also does really fun, inventive video ideas, like one where he swapped his screen time for the equivalent amount of reading time, or did an emoji book recommendations. There was one where books controlled what he ate for a day, which was really fun. I actually tried it out myself. It turned out terribly. His video was great. So he's always really thinking outside the box with his content. You get great videos there. Jen Campbell has a really lovely, cozy channel. Her videos are very visually pleasing, and they often include clips of things like her walks in nature, baking, even tidying her house. I find them very relaxing to watch. So Jen Campbell reads a lot of literary fiction, poetry. She's a writer herself of everything from short stories to children's books, and she's got a particular interest in fairy tales, which she talks about in a really, really interesting way. She also talks a lot about disability representation in books, and again, she's just a fascinating person to listen to. Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin is a hilarious booktuber. He recommends a lot of middle grade books, but his videos and his sense of humour are definitely adult. He actually reads a really big range of books, which I love, so you get lots of different recommendations. He's read horror books in a creepy cabin in the middle of nowhere. He's read steamy romances with a glass of wine. He's read every volume of Heartstopper. I think he's absolutely brilliant. His videos make me laugh a lot. Then there's Mina from Mina Reads, who is primarily a romance reader, so you can get really great romance recommendations from her. She'll have videos on the steamiest romances, dark romances, fantasy romances. She also does videos like Romance Reader Reads Thriller books, so you can get her take on other genres as well. And as a bi booktuber, she has got lots of book recommendations with bi representation. Jessie from Bowties and Books recommends a lot of black and queer literature in a huge range of genres, everything from thrillers to classics. They also talk in their videos about mental health, about racism, including within the book industry. And you'll find really, really fun videos on their channel, including things like one where they made the perfect reading nook, one where they paid an expert to pick their books to read, one where they showed you how to annotate your books. You'll get something a bit fun and different every time you go to their channel. And finally, the last booktuber I'm going to recommend is Jean from Jean Bookish Thoughts. Long-time Book Break fans will know her well because she used to be the host of Book Break. Jean is an expert in Greek mythology, and she also reads a lot of sapphic books, political books, fantasy romance. She's also a writer herself, and Jean is just one of the most beloved booktubers out there for her wonderful sense of humour and also how clever and articulate she is. And aside from books, she has great fashion sense and makes really good videos showing off the clothes that she's thrifted. So those are just some of the amazing LGBTQIA+ booktubers out there. Do leave your recommendations in the comments below for more people for us to all subscribe to. And I will also link here to a playlist of all the other videos where we have shouted out different booktubers. So your subscription boxes are about to get really full. See you next time.